Hi my loves, welcome back. I'm going to be doing a book haul for you. It was my birthday last Thursday. Don't know when this video is going up, but Thursday the 2nd. Was that a Thursday? I think it was. And I got lots of lovely books from my loved ones. It was a very bookish birthday, which are the best kind. And I also have bought a fair few books recently. Some kind of on a whim on the lead up to my birthday, because I thought I could treat myself. Some other random purchases that I saw on my shelves that I know I haven't shown you guys yet, I thought I'd throw into this video as well. Before we do, just quickly on my eyelashes. I know they were really badly applied in my last video. I am basically trying to publicly shame myself into learning how to put on strip lashes properly, because I've always been really bad at it. Like a full strip lash, I'm terrible at. And I love the look of lash extensions, but I find they really don't last on me at all. I must have a high lash turnover or something, and I also like sleeping on my front. And sometimes I just want the effect of lash extensions. So basically I want to get better at strip lashes. And I just think they look nice when I've got makeup on. I kind of want to wear them a little bit more often because I feel like they just make looks pop a little bit more. So I am, like I said, trying to publicly shame myself by filming these videos with slightly badly applied eyelashes until I get the hang of it, and I'm going to keep applying them and hopefully we're going to get better. I feel like I'm already getting a little bit better, but it is hard. So if they look shit again, I'm really sorry. This is me trying to force myself to get better at it. Also, I've had my makeup on for a good few hours now, so it's not looking its best. Usually I would film right after I do my makeup, but today I've had it on already all day, and so it is not looking as cute as it was earlier on. So guys, I'm going to get into the video now and stop talking. This is going to be in a very random order because the books are piled in a very random order. First up, we've got two more Paul Beatty's. You guys know I read A White Boy Shuffle in June and found it to be amazing. So I've ordered his other two novels and I've got the set out on my shelves already, so I think I should have the full Paul Beatty collection now, apart from his poetry, because I know he was originally a poet, and his non-fiction. So I've got all of his novels though now, and I also think these editions are gorgeous, so I wanted to get them before they change again. I always feel like I'm behind on my editions. I don't know much about either of these books, only that I'm sure they're written in Paul Beatty's very unique style, and I'm very excited to read them. So that is those. Next up we have a little eBay purchase. Now I'm getting it to be a little bit more of a nerd. I am going on the hunt for books that I want in nice editions. Not for everything, and certainly with some books I think it's really worth doing that, particularly sci-fis, because I find that some of the contemporary sci-fi covers are pretty bad compared to some of the old-fashioned covers. So I have got this, which is The Dispossessed by Ursula K Le Guin. It's the next novel in the Hainish cycle. You guys know I've read the first 4, and this is the next novel. It also received a lot of critical acclaim when it came out, and how incredible is this cover. So I went on eBay and looked for old versions of this book and found this particularly beautiful edition, which I think is an American edition. The old British ones aren't as nice as this one. It's an Avon Books one from 1975, 5th printing, if you want to have a look for it yourself. I don't know, do ISBNs work with old editions? But yes, how beautiful is this? I don't know, I just love this cover. If you compare this cover to the cover of the contemporary sci-fi classics books that you can get these days, this one is far superior. So this is a spellbinding story of Shevek, a brilliant physicist who single-handedly attempts to reunite two planets cut off from each other by centuries of distrust. Anaris, Shevek's homeland, is a bleak moon settled by an anarchic utopian civilization. Uras, the mother planet, is a world very similar to Earth, with its warring nations, great poverty and immense wealth. Shevek risks everything in a courageous visit to Uras, to learn, to teach, to share. But his gift becomes a threat, and in the profound conflict which ensues, Chebec must re-examine his philosophy of life. So there we go. I'm very excited for this one. There's going to be a lot of Le Guin in this haul actually, because I went a bit overboard. That one I did buy a little while ago though, but I saw it on my shelves and I thought I haven't shown you guys it. Okay, next we have another, I think this is classed as a sci-fi, not a fantasy. Yes, it is. This is Rosewater by Thompson. I've seen this everywhere. This is the start of a series of 3 books, I think. And they're all set in Nigeria in 2066. So the blurb is very short. It just says, the hopeful and the helpless congregate around an alien biodome seeking salvation. Rosewater is a town on the edge. So I'm very excited for this. I'm gonna have to move you guys a little bit because my back's hurting me. I'm getting old, you guys. Sitting on the floor is becoming really uncomfortable for me. I swear, in the new house, right, when I have my library room, the setup is gonna be... so this is Rosewater. I'm very, very excited for it. It has lots of fantastic reviews. I have read the first page briefly and it looks great. It looks like a kind of style that I'm going to enjoy. So that is Rosewater. Next we have Colson Whitehead's The Nickel Boys, which I bought not too long ago. I can't remember if I pre-ordered this in paperback form because it's been in hardback for absolutely ages. I might have pre-ordered this or I might have ordered it recently, but anyway, really liked Whitehead's The Underground Railroad. I actually ended up writing on it in my masters in the end, and this is his most recent novel. It's about a young man called Elwood Curtis who has taken the words of Dr. Martin Luther King to heart. He is about to enroll in the local black college, determined to make something of himself, but given the time and the place, one innocent mistake is all it takes to destroy his future. And so instead of college, Elwood arrives at the Nickel Academy, a segregated reform school claiming to provide an education which will equip its inmates to become honourable and honest men. In reality, the Nickel Academy is a nightmarish, upside-down world where any boy who resists the corrupt depravity of the authorities is likely to disappear out back. So that sounds like a pretty harrowing read, but Whitehead definitely has a really distinct style, or he did in The Underground Railroad, so I'm interested to see how that kind of transposes, maybe changes in this book. And also this was the winner of the Pulitzer Prize for fiction in 2020. Very intrigued by that one. Just slipped out my hands there. Okay, this is where my Le Guin madness begins. Okay, so I got this like strange obsession suddenly with the idea of possessing in book form as many of Le Guin's short stories and novellas as I could. Having never read a Le Guin short story, because I just feel like her style is going to be so well suited to short stories. And she published so many, and they were all kind of published in science fiction magazines and stuff like that. And most of the good ones, I think, as far as I know, have been collected into various tomes. So I have just basically bought most of those because I just feel like she is going to be an amazing short story writer. I don't know if she is, but I feel like she's going to be, just because of her style. And I feel like short stories at the moment are quite a nice way to read because you can sort of dip in and out a little bit easier. They don't require such lengthy concentration, so if you're struggling with reading at the moment, then short stories might be the way to go. But anyway, so that means that I did end up buying this edition of the books of Earthsea. So you guys know I actually, is it over here or is it over there? Over there. I actually have this quite fun 90s edition of, or maybe even late 80s edition of the first 4 books of Earthsea. So obviously I have them reprinted here. I'm becoming that person, you guys, who buys books they already own. But this is a really lovely book. I mean, it's absolutely massive, but it is illustrated, which I think is lovely. Really the reason I bought this book, because I actually think I have all of the novels in book form already, is the stories, the Earthsea stories that they have in here. So yes, we've got The Word of Unbinding, The Rule of Names, The Daughter of Odrin, Firelight and Earthsea Revisioned. So I think that would be lovely, and I also think it's just a nice addition of her work. If you guys don't mind big hefty hardbacks, and you want to kind of read Le Guin's Earthsea books, then I definitely think this would be a nice copy to buy. Like I said, it's all illustrated. We've got these nice coloured illustrations at the beginning, but it is illustrated in parts throughout, which is lovely. Whilst we're talking about her short stories and stuff, I will show you this, which I also got, which is both The Found and the Lost, which is the collected novellas of Ursula Le Guin, and The Unreal and the Real, which is the selected short stories, and it comes in this kind of set, which I'm actually a bit sad about because it's a little bit broken and a little bit ratty looking. But anyway, let me get them out. So I don't know whether to actually keep this box or whether to just put these on my shelf. But these are the copies. They're so beautiful. Super, super nice. Moving on from Le Guin now, I have got Hamlet by Maggie O'Farrell, which my mum has just started reading. Now, Maggie O'Farrell's always struck me as a kind of more contemporary realism author. So I was surprised when people said that she was releasing this. I don't know much about her, and I don't think I've actually read any of her other books. Although it was Instructions for a Heatwave, Maggie O'Farrell. I think I've read that one. This is historical fiction. It's about Shakespeare's family. He had a son called Hamlet. So the blurb says, on a summer's day in 1596, a young girl in Stratford-upon-Avon takes to her bed with a fever. Her twin brother Hamlet searches everywhere for help. Neither parent knows that one of the children will not survive the week. So yes, I'm very intrigued by this. It has had lots of great reviews, and yes, if you're wondering, I think Hamlet was written after Hamlet's death, and apparently the two names were interchangeable at the time, or there's definitely a link going on there. So yes, it's also got a very beautiful cover as well. You guys, you'll notice that I am buying some hardbacks again because I just realised I can't keep up this hardbackless life because so many books take so long to come out in paperback. They can take like over a year, and I don't love reading on my Kindle really. I sort of like it when I have places to go, but at the moment when I'm at home I'd rather be reading a physical book. Yes, I'm going to have to start buying, if I want like a new book, I'm going to have to start buying hardbacks and just get over my sort of dislike of them. So I think we're moving on now to books that I haven't bought myself, that I got for my birthday. So first up, we've got my current book that I'm reading at the moment, which is Till by Daniel Kehlmann. This is a German book, so it's translated. It's written about kind of a famous, legendary, mythical prankster, trickster figure called Till. If you're German, you might have heard of him. And it is set during the 30 Years' War, which I know basically nothing about. So that's been very interesting. So yeah, it's a historical novel set during the 30 Years' War, kind of including Till, who is a little bit of a mythical, weird, strange and wonderful character. And yes, I'm very much enjoying it. I'm loving a bit of historical fiction at the moment. So that is Till. And Zach got me that one for my birthday. So next up we've got The Book of Coley by M.R. Carey, which sounds just up my street. So the blurb says, beyond the walls of the small village of Myth and Rood lies an unrecognisable landscape, a place where overgrown forests are filled with choker trees and deadly seeds that will kill you where you stand, and if they don't get you, the shunned men will. Coley has lived in Myth and Rood his entire life. He believes the first rule of survival is that you don't venture too far beyond the walls. He's wrong. And this is the beginning of a trilogy. So yes, it's a fantasy novel. I'm very, very excited about it because I just love that sort of nature, foresty sort of writing. I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot of fantastical nature writing in this, but we will see. It also smells wonderful. It has a wonderful, very bookish smell. Okay, next we have Luann Goldie's Nightingale Point. So it looks like this one was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction this year. And I think it's more like a thrillery type book. Okay, ignore me, I don't think it is a thrillery type book. So the blurb says, Mary has a secret life that no one knows about, not even Malachi and Tristan, the brothers she vowed to look after. Malachi had to grow up too quickly. Between looking after Tristan and nursing a broken heart, he feels older than his 21 years. Tristan wishes Malachi would stop pining for Pamela. No wonder he's falling in with the wrong crowd without Malachi to keep him straight. Elvis is trying hard to remember the instructions his care worker gave him, but sometimes he gets confused and forgets things. Pamela wants to run back to Malachi, but her overprotective father has locked her in and there's no way out. It's a day like any other until something extraordinary happens. When the sun sets, Nightingale Point and its residents are irrevocably changed, and somehow, through the darkness, they must find a way back to lightness and back to each other. So yeah, it looks from some of the reviews on the book that it's kind of about community and relationships. So yes, I'm excited to read this one. Next we have Middlegame by Seanan Maguire, which is, I think, another fantasy or sci-fi novel. I'm not actually sure. Yes, fantasy. Again, a fantastic cover on this book. I love it. Blurb. Meet Roger. Skilled with words, languages come easily to him. He instinctively understands how the world... I cannot speak today. He instinctively understands how the world works through the power of story. Meet Dodger, his twin. Numbers are her world, her obsession, her everything. All she understands, she does so through the power of math. Roger and Dodger aren't exactly human, though they don't realise it. They aren't exactly gods either. Not entirely, not yet. Meet Reed, skilled in the alchemical arts like his progenitor before him. Reed created Dodger and her brother. He's not their father, not quite, but he has a plan. To raise the twins to the highest power, to ascend with them and claim their authority as his own. Godhood is attainable. Pray it isn't attained. Okay, next we have Telephone by Percival Everett. Again, another stunning cover. I love this cover. I actually think, yes, Percival Everett's quite a prolific author, and there are definitely other ones that I want to read of his. And I think this is one of his more recent ones. Yes, 2020. So the blurb says, Zach Wells, a laconic geologist/paleobiologist, has the trappings of a comfortable life, yet is not contented. He's expert in the geological history of a cave in the Grand Canyon, but less so where his wife and daughter are concerned. And when his daughter develops unusual vision problems and has a seizure, the whole of this family of three crumbles. So Telephone is a deeply affecting novel of loss, grief, and renewal. So I'm very intrigued by this one. Here is one I bought myself because it is the July Books book club read, and actually my copy of Women, Race and Class has not arrived by Angela Davis, but yes, this is my fiction book club read for this month, which is Jacqueline Woodson's Red at the Bone, which I've been meaning to read for ages. Again, this is longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction this year. An unexpected teenage pregnancy brings together two families from different social classes and exposes the private hopes, disappointments and longings that can bind or divide us. It's set in Brooklyn in 2001, but it also, I think, covers the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, as well as post 9/11 New York. So yes, I think there's a lot going on in this novel, and it's pretty short as well. Definitely worth including in your reading for this month if you want to join in on book club and read something which is supposed to be really, really great. Okay, next we have Among Others by Jo Walton, which I think this cover is horrible. Sorry you guys. I don't know exactly whether it suits what's inside the book, but having read Lent by Jo Walton, I feel like it probably doesn't. But yeah, this is not my kind of cover at all. But you guys know I read Lent, absolutely loved it. So I wanted to read more Jo Walton. I think this is one of her more famous novels. So when Maury discovers that her mother is using black magic, she decides to intervene. The ensuing clash between mother and daughter leaves Maury bereft of her twin sister, crippled for life and unable to return to the Welsh valleys that were her own kingdom. Maury finds solace and strength in her beloved books, but her mother is bent on revenge, and nothing and no one, not even Tolkien, can save her from the final reckoning. So very intrigued by this because obviously Lent was a historical sort of fantasy novel, and this one doesn't sound like it is, so I'm really interested to see how Walton tackles like a completely different subject, different characters as well. But it has great reviews on it from some of my favourites. Jeff Vandermeer's quoted on the front here, a wonder and a joy. Ursula Le Guin's quoted on the back, funny, acute and impassioned. So I'm very excited. And she's won the Hugo and the Nebula Award. I don't know when or for which books. Speaking of Jeff Vandermeer, I have this gorgeous copy of Dead Astronauts. Again, what a cover. This is the book that comes after Born. So you guys know I read Born not too long ago. When did I read it? Sometime in April or May, I think it was April. So the blurb is weird and wonderful as normal with Vandermeer. A messianic blue fox who slips through warrens of time and space on a mysterious mission. A homeless woman haunted by a demon who finds the key to all things in a strange journal. A giant leviathan of a fish centuries old which hides a secret, remembering a past that may not be its home. 3 ragtag rebels waging an endless war for the fate of the world against an all-powerful corporation. A raving madman who wanders the desert lost in the past, tormented by his own creation, an invisible monster whose name he has forgotten and whose purpose remains hidden. So some of those characters I think are familiar from the first book. I feel like I always hear someone say, I love Jeff Vandermeer but I don't like X book. And people have said that to me about this one as well. So we'll see how we get on. Another book I bought myself is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This was one of those books that broke me on the hardcover thing because it's out now, I want to read it in book form, and I can't be waiting around for a paperback copy. So this has been getting incredible reviews everywhere basically, and I'm very excited to read it. So it's about twins. After growing up together in a small southern black community and running away at age 16, it's not just the shape of their daily lives that is different as adults, it's everything, including their racial identities. Many years later, one sister lives with her black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. Across the country, the other secretly passes for white, and her white husband knows nothing of her past. Still, although separated by so many miles and just as many lives, the fates of the twins remain intertwined. So yes, I'm very much looking forward to this one because it has been getting such glowing reviews from everyone. So, final proper novel before we get into a whole collection of books which I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But this is Hilary Mantel's The Mirror and the Light. Zach got me this one for my birthday. I've just finished reading Bring Up the Bodies and I'm very excited to read the final instalment in Mantel's Cromwell trilogy. Also, this has got a very beautiful cover, I think. I really lucked out on lots of lovely covers. Very excited to read this. It's substantially longer than the other ones, I think, so we will see how I get on with this one. But yes, I loved Bring Up the Bodies. Okay, so the final books I got for my birthday from my mum were some absolutely stunning Shakespeare copies of Shakespeare. So these are the Pelican Shakespeares, and I believe they are a slightly older edition. They're from 2017, I think, and they've actually since then released new copies with different covers, at least for some of the plays. So I did quite a lot of the searching for these, and I didn't manage to get absolutely every play. I think they originally did release them all, but like I said, I think they've got some newer editions of some of them. So if you guys have any plays that I don't mention in the next 5 minutes in these copies, let me tell you, I will pay you good money to get a full set of these. But yes, I think in lots of cases they're just not available anymore, or the like ebook version of this version is available but not the physical copy. Anyway, I found out about these through the lovely Kathleen, or Clumsy Words, on Instagram. She's got a lovely account and she mentioned these, and I believe also they are US editions, and I can tell that because they have all the prices in dollars. But yes, if you're looking for them, I do think lots of them are still available, so if you're looking for them, just put the name of the play in that you want with the Pelican Shakespeare. But I'm going to show you some of the covers because they're absolutely stunning. I cannot wait to have these all on a shelf. I haven't actually put them on a shelf yet. But what's nice about these as well, they're quite slim, readable little copies. So it's definitely going to encourage me to read some of his plays that I haven't read before. But they've also got little introductions, each of them. They've got notes and everything. They're not bogged down with loads of notes, you know, they're not proper student editions, but I do think they're really lovely and they're useful as well as being very beautiful. So yes, I will show you guys some of them now. Should I show you all of them? Let's run through them all as quickly as possible. The light blue are the comedies, the black are the tragedies, and the purple are the histories. So we've got The Taming of the Shrew, which I've never read. Antony and Cleopatra, that's a good one. Henry VIII, which I'd be very intrigued to read because of my Hilary Mantel obsession. I've never watched it or read it. Got Troilus and Cressida. Beth, that one's a good one. Much Ado About Nothing. I know this is a bit extra, by the way, you guys, that I tried to get my hands on literally all of them. But I feel like having a full collection of Shakespeare is one of those things if you're going to have like a library room or something. And these just were particularly beautiful editions. So this is Julius Caesar, which I did do at school actually. Why aren't we focusing? So we've got the Comedy of Errors. This is a really pretty one, I think. Hamlet. Henry IV Part 2. I should have Part 1 somewhere. Twelfth Night. Romeo and Juliet. All of them have like different backs as well, but I won't go too crazy. Henry V. This is a good one. The Merchant of Venice. This is where it gets a bit annoying because this is Henry VI Part 1 and I think I've got Henry VI Part 3 coming, but I have not got Henry VI Part 2. If you have Henry VI Part 2 in these editions, I'm telling you, I will honestly pay you good money for it. But this is Henry VI Part 1. I also got the little sonnet book, which I thought was really, really cute. So that's why that one's in yellow. Titus Andronicus. It's got to be Lavinia on the front. Coriolanus. Measure for Measure. Richard III. I can't remember if I did Richard III or Richard II at school. I think it was Richard III. The Winter's Tale. Love's Labour's Lost. The Two Gentlemen of Verona. A few more to go, you guys. So that's Richard II. King Lear, a classic. A good cover as well. Othello, another classic. Midsummer Night's Dream. The Tempest. I feel like I've read that one millions of times. As You Like It. And we've got Henry IV Part 1. I think that's a good one as well. So those are all the ones I have. Now obviously I think I'm missing like Cymbeline. I think I'm missing like Timon of Athens, some of his like lesser known plays. I might get them in the new Pelican editions, the new Pelican Shakespeare editions, because they're quite nice as well, but just in a very different way, just so I can have a full set. But it is sad that I can't seem to find them, the rest of them, in these editions. However, I do have some of the best ones here, in fact all of the best ones here I think, including all the ones that I love the most and that I've read over the years. So I am still very, very, very grateful for these and think they're absolutely stunning. Even if I can't get my hands on the full collection, I so think they're worth having anyway because they are so beautiful, and I can't wait to put them up on my shelves. So yes, my loves, that is everything. That's my huge book haul complete. So many exciting books here that I absolutely cannot wait to read. So excited for my reading in the latter half of this year. Hopefully I'll get through most of these novels before the end of the year, really. But yes, thank you guys for watching today. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!